Matthew chapter 4 and verse 3. And when the tempter came to him, he said, If thou be the son of Yahweh, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Most High, Yahweh. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple, and saith unto him, If thou be the Son of God, Yahweh, cast thyself down. For it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou shalt dash thy foot against a stone. Yahweh said unto him, It is written again, Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God, thy power, Yahweh. Call la Yahweh Bashmiel Shah, Waha, Rachakodash. Double honors to the hopefully elect elder apostle slave to be saved. Lord willing, start with those at the Great Millstone Church on down to the rest, abiding under this doctrine from the elder brothers on down to the younger brothers teaching this truth and all true faith and sincerity. And to the brothers, ultimately, obviously over here at our congregation in my camp, Shalom. Brothers are giving diligence. Okay. Now, ultimately, obviously, shalom to the rest of you believers, you men, women, and children, of the Israelite race and on this faith also. Ultimately, shalom to the elect, those that were going to be found to be had been of the house of David. So yeah, back with another quick lesson, and this lesson is going to be titled, pretty much is going to be going into not, don't make the Heavenly Father, don't make Yahweh Bashmiel Shah, and, intentionally try your wisdom, man, or test your wisdom. You don't want that. You don't want the Heavenly Father to test your wisdom based off on account of how you moving, man. All right? And that remind me of the movie Paid in Full, when Ace told Rico that, Rico was like, y'all laid the murder gang down to show, such and such. We ain't, messing around, those that seen that movie. I like the gangster movies, man. They make you think. You know what I'm saying? They real, what's the word? I forget the type of thinking it is. I think it's, tactical. It's not tactical thinking, but pretty much, they make you think. But the whole point, it deals with having your mind right, and a lot of them, but pretty much my point is what he responded to him. He's like, man, he's like, man, you don't even know what you doing. He's like, yo, man, what the fuck you doing, man? Don't have it. The feds coming in here, looking for me on account of some shit you did, man. You see? And he basically, the sentiment of that response to him, to Rico by Ace was what? Pretty much, you trying these people. Why would you put us in position for people to, put us in position to, prove, see how well we're going to move. If we're able to respond back or not. If they can beat us. If this will happen. You don't want that. And I was just speaking on this by the Spirit. You don't want to put yourself, you don't want to put your destiny or your fate in the whim of somebody else's hands. Now, we ultimately know everything's in the hand of Yahweh Bashmiel Shah, but how things play down here on in the so-called human realm, perspective, that's what go down. And the Lord, in those situations actually do still play out. It's just the Lord, Yahweh Bashmiel Shah, he's orchestrating them. You don't want him, you don't want that, man. You don't want your fate being in, you don't want the Lord to put you in a situation to where your fate is in somebody, is at the mercy and whim of some bozo that you don't even know's hand, man. The fate on what happens to you, imagine that, is in the hands of somebody else. how they're gonna move, how they're gonna respond, and that's literally what happened when you moving like that could happen when you moving like the instance I just gave by the Spirit, you know, Rico in the movie Paid in Full, you know, because now not only that, but now you in a situation where you have to show up. You getting your wisdom tried. You getting your wisdom proved. You don't want to intentionally you don't want to be in those situations, you know, to where you don't put yourself in a situation now to where you have to react right now. Like obviously you ought to be living right, but I'm saying your fate is now due to a situation you don't put yourself in. The outcome is how well you move, but it was an unnecessary situation that didn't have to, happen or be the case in the first place, man. You don't want that. We do not want that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something people have bad. Like when people say you tested my gangster or something like that. You don't want that, man. You know? And this is inspired by pretty much something that, pretty much came out by the Spirit, amongst our congregation. Well, everything good, everything, was good then is to happen, for brothers to become more seasoned, for brothers to, get experiences, for brothers to, pretty much get response from Yahweh Shah, get feedback, for us, for our movements to get graded. Because really that's what happened. That's what happens, upon situations happening, in the ministry, stuff like that, brothers, find themselves in certain scenarios, hence chastisement coming out or something like that. It's basically the Lord giving us a grade, which is good on how we moving, but not just that, because that's, not it. This kid, it pretty much another scenario happened. Had nothing to do with the ministry per se, but just everyday wisdom. In a general sense. You see, having to pretty much, tell my household this, man. Let things be known. As far as we don't want that. Don't try. You can't move like this and ultimately force yourself in a situation to where your fate is in someone else's hands, and now it really comes down to not that, but also how well you able to defend. You see what I'm saying? That's like going up and picking a fight. Now you in a fight with the biggest person that's out of your weight class, whatever. Fast hands, all type of stuff. Now, since you're gonna do that, now you put yourself in a situation if you don't want to, take that L, to fight, man. You got to perform well. But pretty much, that's what's been outlined in this instance right here in Matthew the 4th chapter, man. You don't want to, because ultimately that happening is the Lord putting you in that situation. He'll put you in that situation based off how you moving. You forcing His wisdom. You forcing Him to prove your wisdom based off how you trying the Lord, how you moving. That's man. Come on, man. That's nerve wracking. So I'm gonna read this again. This is Matthew 4. All right, and verse 3. I'm gonna read this in the NLT, the New Living Translation as well. It says, and when in the KJV, and when the tempter came to him, he said to him, the tempter, see that if thou, and really what that is you being arrogant, man. Because the tempter, your temptations really come off of it comes to you. It's seen really when you in tempting moments, if you will. It's really in the form of you noticing or not noticing your own arrogance, but really it's Satan. You see what I'm saying? Or your lack of taking heed or nonchalantness, your slothfulness. You see, that's really Satan. Because anything off or adverse to your own gain or profit, obviously it's Satan because it's adverse to you, man. You see? But anyway, like Satan, that's why Satan work on the flesh. You see what I'm saying? Because he ain't spiritual on the right hand side. He's a spirit, but nonetheless, you know, the compatibility of the flesh. I ain't trying to be deep, but pretty much he work on the flesh, man. But anyway, this is verse 3. It says, when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the son of God, Yahweh, command that these stones be made bread. See, during verse 3 in the NLT, during that time, the devil came and said to him, if you are the son of God, tell these stones to become loaves of bread. You see, tell these stones to become loaves of bread. See that? That's like you forcing yourself into a moment of you having to be able to do something, really forcing your wisdom. You forcing yourself in position. That's like trying to profess knowledge you don't have. And you end up putting yourself in a moment to where you look bad, man. And now when everybody listening, like, yo, check this out. You do that, like say you did that as if you was gonna reveal something that, you really don't know, but you said you was gonna, go into it. And then then you get put in that moment by yourself, you're tempted into that moment. And now you in a moment to where your wisdom has to be proved. All right, go ahead. You know so much, go ahead. And you get in those moments based off how you moving, man. So you don't, and the Lord, he'd had that happen, and you would be out here looking stupid. You would take an L. That's how you get a lot of these situations play out. Front like something, brother put you on the spot. Go ahead, break it down, break that down. Or you tell somebody you could dunk or something like that. Yeah, I could dunk. Yeah, watch this. No, this is how the move go. I'm gonna show you. And now everybody, all right, go ahead. Now your wisdom is on trial. Your fate on whether you look stupid, your word being trustworthy remains. Your reputation ultimately, man, is at the fate of your wisdom. You have to move basically perfect now. On point. Unnecessarily though, because of a situation you put yourself in. So why do that? But the Lord be like, all right, go ahead. And that and it can play out even worse, man. Go among Zake acting like you gangster. Unnecessarily. Why go places? Yeah, you got wisdom, but why try to do that? Like it just don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Yeah, I'm finna pull up in the hood, you know what I'm saying? I know how to move. Now I got the doctrine. You see what I'm saying? I know what's going on. What you probably do, but when you in that moment, now you have to unnecessarily do to your own, how whatever, led you to getting in that situation. It could be probably anything, man. You know what I'm saying? Discernment, discretion, lack of these things, a lack of these things. But now that you in that moment, you gotta move perfect, man. Which is unnecessary for you to have to even be in the first place. And I imagine that you don't, and say must come say something to you. You don't even know how to deal with Jake. That's they killers or something over there. Or whatever it may be, man. You see, I'm gonna try to get in the zoo. I'm gonna go in the zoo, jump over the lions display, and I'm gonna deal with them. You dying or not is now dependent upon how well you move or not, your wisdom in that moment, man. And if you went on and got 8 loss of arm or whatever it may be, whatever the outcome may be, is due to you putting yourself into a position of where the Lord will have to prove your wisdom, man. You don't want that. So Lord, when this making sense, I'm gonna close out on this. This is Matthew 4:4 in the NLT, 4:3, 4:4 in the KJV. But he answered and said, "It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God." You see, Yahweh. And he don't instruct us to be like this, man. The scriptures say, "Be not confident in the plain way." You see, in Sirach, let me get it. Yeah, Khan, that's beautiful. Sirach 32, and I'm gonna start at 18. This is beautiful. It says, "A man of counsel will be considerate, but a strange and proud man is not daunted with fear. Even when of himself he had done without counsel." You know, you do something that's not well advised at all. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's you asking for it. Do nothing without advice. And when thou hast once done, repent not. You see, once you get put on game to not of this now, you know, in the spirit to not move like that, don't move like that. Go not in a way, verse 20, wherein thou mayest fall, and stumble not among the stones. You see? You don't want to do that, man. Why would you go where it's slippery at when you can walk around all this ice? But you going, no, I'm gonna put these boots to the unnecessarily to the, you know, you got a bad knee already, to the test. Put them to the test where you have to. You don't have to in that point, in that moment, man. So go not in a way wherein thou mayest fall, you know, and stumble not among the stones. But if you thinking like that, the Lord will turn you over to that mindset. You will actually go on and walk on that black ice and do some dumb shit like that. Now you slip, bust your ass, you know, and no one listens to you no more because you, you know, let's say a fool rages and is confident. You see? Now you a fool in people's eyes. You see that? You don't want that, man. And now your knee messed up. Be not confident in a plain way. That's the point. Verse 21. Be not confident in a plain way. See? So back to it. Matthew 4:17. But he answered and said, in the KJV, "It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yahweh." But in the NLT, but Yahweh told him, "No, the scriptures say people do not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of the Most High, Yahweh." Verse 5. Then it says, then, this is the point in verse 6, but I'm going to read through 5. It says, "Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple." Right? In verse 6, it says in the KJV, "And saith unto him, If thou be the Son of God, the Most High Yahweh, cast thyself down. For it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up." You see? They shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou shalt dash thy foot against a stone. In verse 6 in the NLT, it says, "And said," Satan. It says, "And said, If you are the Son of God, the Most High, jump off. For the scriptures say he will order his angels to protect you, and they will hold you up with their hands so you won't even hurt your foot on a stone." Verse 7 in the KJV, Yahweh said unto him, "It is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God." Right? In the NLT is the point. It says, Yahweh answered, "The scriptures also say you must not test the Lord your God." You see? Which will be what? You not, if you're testing him, you're not retaining Yahweh, you're not retaining the knowledge of Yahweh in your knowledge, you're not retaining him in your knowledge, and he'll turn you over to do those things which are not convenient. You see what I'm saying? And you'll hurt yourself, man. So don't put yourself in position to have your wisdom proved unnecessarily. It's those tight situations to be in, and they can result, bad. We already got to fight a battle as it is. Battles gonna present themselves, as they come. So that's it, man. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. That's not necessarily going with it, but my point is, the Lord, it's enough evil we got to deal with already. So call on like how about Shemel Shah Shalom.